Hey, welcome back guys. So today on this video, we are talking about PayPal, and more specifically, we're going to try to answer the question, should you get a PayPal account for your children or minor kids that are under 18? So let's go ahead and talk about this. First off, if you're not familiar with PayPal, it's definitely one of the more popular online payment services out there. They might even be the oldest. I remember using them back in the early 2000s, but I'm not too sure if they're the oldest. If you happen to know, be sure to leave a comment below. And basically what it is, you can buy things on websites and on the internet, and then you can transfer money from you to someone else a lot of places throughout the world right through their app, and they do cross currency as well. But should you get a PayPal account for your children? That's what we're going to try to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. So there's a couple of things you want to consider if you are thinking about getting a PayPal account for a minor kid who's under 18. The first of which is if you decide to set up a PayPal account, PayPal will generally ask you a lot of personal information. One of that pieces of information is your date of birth. Now, if PayPal notices that your date of birth does not add up to the age of 18, at least in the US, I'm not sure about other countries, that it goes against the terms of service, meaning they won't allow you to open up a PayPal account because you do need to be at least of the age of 18. So of course, a lot of people that I've talked to say that they just changed their date of birth around to make it look like they're 18. The thing is with that, since you're breaking the terms of service with PayPal, it is possible that they can close your account down. Now, they might not close your account down immediately, but at some point in the future, it is possible that they catch you setting up an account or catch your kids setting up an account for PayPal under the age of 18, and then they will close the account down. And that might not seem like a big deal, especially since there are other different payment methods aside from PayPal. However, in the future, if you decide to open up a PayPal account, it might become difficult for you to open one up, or maybe they don't allow your kids to open one up since they've already broken the terms of service. And maybe they end up wanting to order something from someone when they only accept PayPal. It's just going to end up being more convenient. So as far as your kids or minor children open up a PayPal account under the name, probably wouldn't recommend it since it's against the terms of service. And while you might get away with it for a little while, sooner or later, PayPal may end up catching and understanding that the account is for someone under the age of 18. And usually when I talk about that point with some parents, it brings up my second subject. And a lot of times what they're going to say is, well, I'll go ahead and open up the account under my name and then order a PayPal cash debit MasterCard and give it to my kids and let them use it. And then that way you can manage their money, manage their expenses throughout the month, or if there's an emergency or something like that. Same thing with that. I probably wouldn't recommend that. And the reason for that is because, well, there's a lot of different reasons. Three of them that come to mind is, the first is, if you give them a PayPal cash debit MasterCard to use, once you've ordered it from PayPal, on the back of the card is going to say your name, not your kid's name. So if they go to 7-Eleven or they go to Walmart to use the card, it is possible that the teller declines to accept that transaction since the card is not under the children's name. Now, that doesn't mean that no one will accept it. A lot of times people will accept credit cards and debit cards at the register without checking any ID. So a lot of times they probably won't have an issue using it. The second reason I probably wouldn't recommend that is because if your kids end up purchasing something illegal or something immoral with your PayPal account, even though it wasn't you that made the transaction, it could set up a situation where you have to answer some weird questions or be under some sort of strange pressure from a law enforcement agency. And to explain to somebody that you didn't make the transaction, it was your kid, maybe seems a little far-fetched. And even if your kids don't do anything illegal or they're always on the up and up, the thing is, on the internet, a lot of times fraud is pretty common these days. Phishing scams are pretty common. So if your kids are using the PayPal cash debit MasterCard on the internet, and let's say somebody phishes the account from them, and then those folks end up using it for something illegal, something immoral, something that you don't want your name attached to, it could come back to haunt you at a later date. For example, if those people decide to use your card or your PayPal account on an adult website for kids or something crazy like that. Now, I know that that's not really likely, but it definitely is a possibility. So that's the last thing you want to be doing, is answering questions to a law enforcement agency about some transaction that you didn't have anything to do with or your kids didn't have anything to do with. So those are the main reasons why I probably wouldn't recommend getting a PayPal account for your minor kids that are under 18. But I know that it is pretty common, and if you happen to have gotten a PayPal cash debit MasterCard for your kids that are under 18 and you had a good experience with it, be sure to leave a comment below. Let the rest of us know how you did it. But hopefully you found that video useful. If so, click thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks again for watching.